Time to take a monthly look at the rural property market with Peter Newbold, who's the GM of PGG Wrightson's Real Estate. Good afternoon, Peter. How's things?
Yeah, pretty good actually. Nice day in Otago today, so we can't complain.
No, you're right. The sun is shining. It has been a tad average.
Yeah, and I guess a lot of people will be looking forward to it, a bit of grass growth, and maybe we might start to see some good spring weather.
Well, would like to that. Definitely like to see that. Pretty good listings, though. People are looking, particularly in the sheep and beef. What's happening?
Yeah, look, it's. I think it's the best I've seen for probably half a dozen years. It's good listings all through the country, predominantly in sheep and beef, and a lot of variety. So, and a lot of it is around, I think people have just decided whether it's succession or change of ownership or whatever, it's a time to move on. But yeah, definitely right through the country, there's good stock.
Been a long time, though, since we've seen such solid prices. And it doesn't seem to be an aberration. They've held on for, the last 2 to 3 years, and they just seem to be staying there.
Yeah, and if I speak to some of my colleagues at work, they see that continuing on. So, yeah, often it's a good time to move when things are positive. And I think that's one of the things, especially in that sector, it's really strong at the moment.
I've been driving around quite a bit lately in the lower South Island, and the farms are looking magnificent as well. It is a great time to look.
Yeah, well, that's it. This time of the year, spring, is the best time to list a property. And also, once you get through the calving and lambing and that, you can get around the properties well and show them off. So, yeah, perfect time, spring.
What about dairy? We're hearing not a lot happening there.
Yeah, look, it's still very quiet, to be honest, and I think, there's all those things everyone talks about which are going on. But, if you look at the dairy price, it's strong. I just think there's that, negative sentiment that's hanging around it. The listings are less than normal and probably from a sales perspective a little bit slower, and I think some people are still struggling to get their head around value. The capital gains thing's gone, and you've got to look at it on a yield basis. So that's taking place at the moment. But I would say there are some sales taking place, and there's some good properties out there.
Yeah, we're going to look at one of them in a minute. But I guess there's a lot of talk about the banks not lending, but just changing their criteria, making a lot more work before you purchase something.
Yeah, definitely. The rules have changed, and that's fair. That's their right. And I think that's done is it's slowed up the process. People are having to think more. They're being challenged. They're having to do a lot more due diligence. So I guess from both sides of the equation, whether you're a purchaser or a vendor, it's taking a lot longer. So you need to be more prepared. And I think the other big thing that comes into it is around the value. And you've got to purchase correctly. And I think, you add all those things together, it's just making it a little bit more challenging.
I guess another bright light is horticulture, particularly those areas around Nelson up into Hawke's Bay. There's some big sales or some good properties.
Yeah, look, horticulture is strong, and I think what we're also seeing in that, well, this year, interestingly, it's running a little bit late due to weather, especially in the Bay of Plenty, but I understand that there's a lot of properties starting to come onto the market now. The returns are good, and I think the values will push through some records again this year. But also tied in with the horticulture, what we're seeing, especially in the North Island, is this change of land use where, let's say a dairy farm's been converted to kiwi fruit or the like. So you're seeing a lot of that taking place. And I think in some respects that's probably distorting some of the values out there, especially in respect to dairy.
All right, we'll keep a close eye on that. Peter Newbold, Property of the Week, PGG Wrightson's Property of the Week for us. What have you got?
Yeah, look, I think it's a great property. It's just south of Ealing, in the South Island there. I visited it recently. It's called Waybrook, milking about 1,600 cows. It's all self-contained. It's one of those properties where the owners they've done everything right. It's well maintained, good access, good facilities, and yeah, it's just one of those really nice properties that seldom come to the market. And a great opportunity for someone to also, there's opportunity to further growth on the property. So, yeah, it was a pleasure to visit it just recently.
All right, Peter Newbold, the GM of PGG Wrightson's Real Estate. Thanks for your time on The Country this afternoon.
Yeah, thanks very much, Andy, and have a good day.